Got this landscape wire coming out of the ground. What do we do now? Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning in to Fix Everything. Today we're outside and I'm going to be installing some low voltage lighting. Earlier you saw this wire coming out of the ground. I laid this just the other day and connected it to the power source, and I've laid it all along this area that I want to put some lights in. But for today I'm just going to do one just to see how that looks. Might be too bright as it is, but I have this spotlight right here and some connectors, and I'd like to show you how this is done. I think when it's done, this whole area right from the bunnies to the right here all the way down to the left, and I've got some trees back here, some arborvitaes that will be lit up at night. So I'm not sure if I should put a couple in here or just one, but for today we're just going to do one. And I found something that is going to save your back and knees. These are fast connectors for low voltage lighting, and I'm going to show you how these connect. The old style before really had a hard time connecting to the wire. You had shorts, you had lights that didn't go on, but I discovered these completely by accident. They're available on Amazon. You can buy an 8-pack, you can buy an 8,000 pack. But these are fantastic. They will work with 12 to 18 gauge wire. So you can use a thinner wire or a thicker wire, or use what you've already got there. Let's take a look and see how this is actually going to save you a ton of time. We're going to make connecting the end of this wire very easy. First thing you're going to want to do is take your light. This happens to be an LED spotlight that I got from Temu, believe it or not. Yes, I tried it, and they actually arrived on time, good condition, and the price was fantastic. It was a 4-pack, but I'm just going to put in one because this LED in there looks really strong. So rather than do all this work and have to tear some out, I'm going to try one, and then I'll turn it on later tonight just to see how bright it is. But the end, they're nice and stripped, and they have a nice tinned solder on the edge of these wires, so they're ready to install. So the first thing you're going to do is try to find a place to install your light. Here I'm just going to pick a spot right in front of this edged area that I have with some mulch in it. I'm going to put that in the ground, and then you can basically tuck the wire underneath here and just hide it under the mulch once we're done. But we're going to connect it to this wire first, and this is where these babies come in handy. Wow, I got to tell you, the old way, the pins were missing the wire, they weren't connecting. I would bury them and have to dig them up every spring and sand them down, but these connectors are going to save you a lot of time. Let's get a detailed view of how these connect. So here is a close-up of one of the connectors. Basically what's going to happen is you're going to take this and unscrew it, and if you look inside there, there is a needle. And what this is going to do is you're going to put your wire into this slot, and then you're going to screw this back in, and that needle is going to pierce your wire. Once that happens, it's never going to come out because this thing gets really tight as you screw it down. And then once you're done with that, you're going to take this cap off the top and put one of the red or black wires through the top, and then you're going to put it inside this cavity and screw it all back in. And what happens is, as you screw this in, it tightens, it keeps that wire against the metal plate that's inside there. So the first thing you have to do is split this wire in two. So as you can see, there's 2 wires running through there. So you're going to take a blade or a utility knife, and you're going to split that right down the middle. Once you get the split, you can take your fingers and pry that apart. So now we have 2 distinct separate halves there, as you can see, a left and a right, or a plus and a minus, whatever you'd like to say. So we're going to take one of our connectors, which is looking like that. Like I said before, you're going to take the top right off of this. And this is where the needle is. Here's where the wire sits. Slide it up from underneath, and then you're going to screw the screw part in. That wire fits perfectly down in that gap. You're going to screw it in very tight. That is now piercing the wire that's in there. Do it as tight as you can, And I'm going to take my second one. I'm going to unscrew that. Here's the channel, which is the little U-shaped threaded part on the bottom. This is going to go underneath the other one. And then I'm going to screw that top back in. That's going to pierce that wire. I can feel it going in there. Nice and tight. Excellent. So now you've got two, left and a right, with caps on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this wire from the actual light, and we're going to do one at a time. So I'm going to do my black one first. I'm going to unscrew the little cap here. And I'm going to take my lamp wire, just the black one, and put it through the top. It should stick out the bottom, just like that. And then I'm going to put it right in there. Just put it in on the side. There's a little pin in there. See that silver disc? On the outside of that pin there, there's a lot of space. You're going to put that wire in there, find a big space there, and then as you're pushing, screw the top in. And just tighten it as tight as you can get it. Now try pulling on that. No way that's coming out of there. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. We're going to unscrew that cap. I'm going to put the red wire now through the top of that cap. And then we're going to take that open cavity with that pin in it and drop the wire onto the side inside there and just screw the top in while we're pushing down on the wire through the cap top. Just make sure it stays in there when you're screwing this in. So there, now they're sticking out the top. What we'll do next is I'll take a little black electrical tape and just tape that up just to kind of seal it. Everything that I've seen says that if water gets in there, it's not a big deal, but I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I'm going to wrap that with black electrical tape, and then we're going to tuck it underneath the mulch, and you won't be able to see it anymore. Here I have a piece of electrical tape, and you can do these individually if you want. I'm just doing this right across the top of both just to seal out most of the moisture and just give it a squeeze. Make sure that tape squeezes those wires on the top, and just, that's all. Just get it so it deflects most of the water. Now that I have this taped up, I'm going to dig out a little patch here. And then I'll cover it back up with mulch. Press it down there. It's probably not going to go anywhere. It's ground level. And then you can hide your wire with some more mulch on the side if you'd like. I'll push this down a little deeper as far as the light goes. It can go down in the ground a little bit more. And you can aim this anywhere you'd like, but I'm going to be aiming it up at the trees so that it could shine on those arborvitaes. I might put a little tilt on it because most of them are over toward the right side there. So that goes down in there. So there you go. So now if you look right there where we connected it, it's basically buried, and I've got the wire laid out over here all the way down here for the next set of lights if I need to. If not, I'll just cut the wire or wrap it up and bury it in case I want to use it at a later time. But I have to tell you that these fast connectors are worth their weight in gold. If you have a lot of lights, I recommend buying the multi-pack. Get as many as you can. They get cheaper the more you buy on Amazon or wherever you can get these from. But there's a little code number on the top there. But low voltage 4-gauge cable connectors. But it will take 12 to 18 gauge. And you can connect these lights very quickly. If I wasn't shooting this, it would take me about a minute and a half to do this job. And there you have it. An easy, quick, low voltage lighting connection solution. Wow, that's a lot of words. Guaranteed these will save your back and your sanity. They're easy to install, and you'll spend a whole lot less time on the ground and more time enjoying your space outside. Thanks again so much for tuning in to Fix Everything. I hope this helped in some way. Please subscribe, and please hit that like button if you would, and turn on notifications so you can always know when we post the next video. Thanks so much again for tuning in, and until next time, have a great day.